what happens when you get discombobulated? What happens when you're mentally disheveled, when you're emotionally struggling, when somebody says something that triggers an emotion? How do you respond without a reactionary statement? How do you get your thoughts under control and respond in a God-honoring, appropriate way? Today, we're going to learn a 4-step process to help you communicate with poise, even though mentally you're a little bit disheveled. I want to jump into the meat of today's podcast. Today's podcast is taken from the book, The Mindful Marriage, by my friend Ron and his wife Nan Deal, along with Terry and Sharon Hargrave. And the book is called this: The Mindful Marriage, Create Your Best Relationship Through Understanding and Managing Yourself. So I want to talk to you about understanding and managing yourself. And when we talk about managing yourself, it's easy to manage yourself when things are going great. But when you are, I like to use the word discombobulated, when life seems to create a mental disheveling inside of you, when you are, as Ron calls it, emotionally dysregulated. In other words, your normal rhythm and routine and your mental process is scrambled, like scrambled eggs in a frying pan. How do you react to that? How do you respond to that? And he says this. He says in his book, the ultimate source of the pain you carry is not any one relationship or instance. Rather, the source of your pain and what generally steals peace is a cumulative story your brain has put together over time. This story is written oftentimes from a series of painful situations or relationships and your interpretation of what those relationships say about you. Now, I don't love the word pain. I think it could be sin. I think it could be choices. I think it could be a lot habits. So he uses the word pain, and here's what he means by this. So he talks about how do we react when we are emotionally dysregulated, or in my vernacular, disconfobulated. So there are 4 ways that we react. So I would say a reaction and a response are different. When I react, I'm not processing. When I respond, I'm processing. So I'm going to give you a process to respond so you do not have to react. And this is straight out of his book. It's a great book, and he's a great author. And so the first thing, and this is what I do. The first way we react, the first part of the reactive cycle, is to blame others. So you'll be either one of these 4 things. In his book, he talks about being a hybrid of these 4. I'm a lot simpler than that. I would say pick one. Pick one that you identify with and go with it. So the first one is blaming others. I tend to do that. I blame others. I get critical of others. I critique others. As a husband, my wife is usually my target. As a father, my children. And so I will put the blame on other people. The second reactive cycle trait is, again, picking one of these 4, is shaming. This is where you are shaming yourself. It's your fault. So where blame is focused outwardly, shame is focused inward. You take it on yourself. It's my fault. I'm a loser. I'm this. You kind of crawl into yourself. So that's not me. I don't relate to that one at all. Number 3 is control. You want to control the situation. So my reactive cycle default is blame. Shanna's is control. She wants to control. She wants to take it kind of by force type of thing. And I love that about her, that she is a woman who knows what she wants and takes it by the horns. When it comes to her reactive cycle, control can be a negative. All of these are negatives because they're reactive ways of dealing with things. So control, you want to control the situation. You want to manipulate. The fourth of this is reactive cycle is escaping. So it's where you isolate yourself, going into your man cave, going into your garage, escaping into your remote control on the TV, going into your nothing box, just refusing to deal. Okay, so I really connect with blaming others. I also connect with control because that's my wife's default reactive cycle trait. So I don't know what you default to, but it's one of those 4 things. So I know when I default to blame, I get angry, I yell, my wife would say I gaslight because I know I'm right. Anyway, so here are the 4 steps. So these are 4 steps to this is called restoration therapy. It's 4 steps to overcoming your emotional dysregulation to respond instead of react. So we'll call this restoration therapy. So Ron in his book talks about speaking these things out loud. Personally, I don't personally see myself ever doing that. That doesn't feel natural to me, but Ron is absolutely committed, and it's changed his marriage. It's changed his life. So if that resonates with you, do it. Ron would tell you to do it. So here we go. Step 1, when that happens and you get emotionally dysregulated and you want to react, for me, I'm going to react in blame, right? Which could be anger, gaslighting, etc. He says, speak your pain. Like, literally, like, say this: I am upset because of this. Or why is this upsetting me so much? Oh, it's because of this. I feel threatened. It's because I am being told that I'm less than. It's because I'm being told I'm wrong. Why? So I am upset because, which leads to step 2, speak to your cycle. So mine is blame. So I'm going to speak to my blame cycle. So I am upset because of this, and what I usually do when I'm like this is I get angry, I get frustrated, I get impatient, I blame the other person, I gaslight. So I'm acknowledging my default setting when I am dysregulated. So I've spoken to the pain, I've spoken to the cycle, and now I'm going to speak to the truth. So I'm going to say, okay, God's word says, hey, let no unwholesome talk come out of you. God's word says, one of the fruits of the Spirit is patience. God's word said, love is patient, and I love my wife, who I live with. I'm with her 24/7, so she's the one I usually have conflict with. So I speak the truth over the situation. And then 4th is I speak to my response to the truth. Okay, I love Shanna. Love is patient. I'm called in Ephesians to wash my wife in the word. I'm called in Galatians to live in the fruit of the Spirit of patience, and kindness and goodness and faithfulness and gentleness and self-control. Therefore, step 4, how do I respond? Okay, I need to respond in patience. I need to respond in kindness. I need to respond in gentleness. And so then I respond. Now, if I only did those 4 things, it would save me a lot of heartache. And so this has been really good for me to learn. This is new learning for me. And so I am excited to speak to my pain when I am emotionally discombobulated, when I am emotionally dysregulated, to speak to the pain cycle or my default, to speak to the truth, and to speak the truth in my response. This is potentially a game changer in your marriage and in all of your personal relationships, right? So hope that helps you guys. Hey man, listen, if you are listening to this on YouTube, first of all, thank you. Our YouTube channel is growing like crazy. But if you're just listening, haven't subscribed, hit that thumb button down there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That'll really help us a lot. It's one small way for you to get back to something that's helping you. Until next time, feel the wet sand on the arena floor. Hear the deafening roar of the crowd. Taste the sweetness of victory. Smell the stench of battle. Get in the game. Get dirty. Grind it out. Discover your restoration process and be a man.